All right, so Standard 11c is asking us to examine the influence of key inventions on U.S. infrastructure. So remember, the infrastructure of a country is what allows that country to function. That might be your roads and highways. It might be your healthcare system. It might be your educational system. It might be, your government. It could be, businesses and whatnot. So your infrastructure is like your skeleton for your country, like it is for a human being. Like, what is it that allows our bodies to function? Well, what keeps my arms from not flopping all over the place? My bones and my muscles, right? And my ligaments. That's part of my body's infrastructure. Okay, so we're going to look at some inventions. And some of these, you've already heard of these. You've already seen them somewhere at some point in your education. All right. Our country's infrastructure is changing. Remember the Civil War? We the North destroyed all of the South's roads and railroads, and destroyed major cities that were used for trade. And then after the Civil War, we're building railroads. We're creating a transportation system for our country using railroads. And so with the discovery of electricity and the harnessing of electricity to use for all kinds of things, electricity is going to change the way we do a lot of things in our country. So communication is going to be part of our country's infrastructure that now is going to be revolutionized by these inventions. Okay, so we've got the telegraph, the telephone, the light bulb. Remember, the words are in pink. They're vocab. You need to write down the definitions, and you have a sheet for that, so you need to be filling that in as you go instead of waiting till the end of the unit. All right. All right, so the telegraph. Here's Samuel Morse up at the top. This is Morse code. You've heard of it before. We'll talk about it again when we get to World War I, World War II. But they used Morse code during the Civil War. It was a way to transmit information, but it was a system of dots and dashes that you heard, and that translated into letters, which then and numbers, and which translates into a message. Okay, so again, created by Samuel Morse. It's the first nationwide transmitter of information. Okay, that's ever created for our country. Morse code is, like I said, it's a system of dots and dashes that's sent across wires for someone to decode. What does this mean for our country and for our infrastructure? Communication can happen between businesses across the country. So it's not like I have to send somebody on horseback with a letter. I don't have to have somebody, walk or ride in a wagon. This can travel across the wires, across the country a lot faster than a person on horseback or on foot or wagon or even by railroad. Okay. You can also coordinate, like they did during the Civil War, coordinate fighting, find out where troops are, move your other troops. So it's, going to change communication, which then changes our entire infrastructure. Okay, imagine today if your parent had to come pick you up from school. They're not going to send you a text. They're going to have to walk up to the office. They're going to have to talk to somebody. Somebody from the office is going to have to come down and get you instead of them just calling me on the phone. Okay, so it makes communication quicker, more efficient, more effective. Okay, the telephone, created by Alexander Graham Bell in the 1870s. And it's going to expand on the technology of the telegraph. So instead of just sending a series of dots and dashes across a wire, now you're actually talking to somebody. True discussion can happen between people immediately or instantaneously. Just think about how the telephone changes our life. I mean, you talk to somebody on the phone. That's pretty impressive, and conversations can happen faster. My family lives in California, so I talk to them on the phone on a regular basis. Well, think how much different talking to them on the phone is than writing them a letter. We can have personal conversations. They can hear the tone in my voice. They can hear when I stop talking or if I'm crying. Yes, Miss Stewart cries. Just think about that and how that will impact businesses and make communication faster and more effective. And then the last one is the electric light bulb. So, here's Thomas Edison in the 1870s. Edison was a true inventor. Okay. He held over 1,000 patents. But just think about the light bulb, okay? Think about prior to the light bulb. You're functioning on the light that a candle puts off or a lamp puts off, and sometimes those are very dangerous tools. You know, what if you knock over the oil lamp, you start a fire, burn down the whole building or the whole house? Even before all of that, you know, you're constrained. Your time to work is constrained by the hours in the day and the setting of the sun or the rising of the sun. Now you have a light bulb. Factories can work 24 hours a day. You can bring workers in all hours of the day and night. It's going to replace these dangerous oil-burning lamps and candles. You know, so this really does change the way our society functions, okay?